Okay, we have, tell us who you are and where you're from, please.
I am Debbie Blades. I am at First Presbyterian in Anaheim. Jim, my husband, is the pastor there, interim pastor there. We just have moved into this presbytery.
Oh, well, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Wow.
So since nobody knows me, I thought I would be the one.
Okay.
I'm going to start off with a question. What do you appreciate about the material shared? Jim and I spoke, we're very vocal about this one, just coming from a presbytery who has gone through this. And with a tremendous amount of coercion, division, manipulation, and things that were not fear-based, seeing all the work that has gone into this and the desire to remain in conversation with each other is tremendously gratifying.
Oh, good.
That we see that.
Mm-hmm.
That's our impression anyway. Also was the comment that there was a tremendous amount of work that has gone into this. Kind of the questions that were had and the concerns kind of all blend in one, so I'm just going to kind of open all of those up. One of the comments that was made is really divorce isn't an option. You don't get to divorce your family, your brothers and sisters. You can divorce a spouse, but if you're going to do it, you need to name it. And since nobody's really naming things, that kind of blends right into some of the assumptions that are built into as one of the fears, is that inherent in the document is that that perhaps some of the basic assumptions, who gets to make the assumptions? And how come some of the assumptions, what's underlying some of the assumptions? Are some things kind of cut under, or not, filled in under there? There is a little bit of a fear that if we enter into the process without totally understanding those assumptions, that perhaps we will not be able to really turn around, and that in the end we end up postponing the inevitable. And that's about it.
Thank you. Okay, other comments? Not sure, I don't think we'll respond to them. We'd rather hear from you than respond to these, unless you really ask. So, other feedback? Okay. Let us get a mic to you and then introduce yourself.
I'm Don Roberson, elder for Presbyterian Church of the Master, and our little PCOM table here had a few comments. The first, we had a lot. Nancy took the notes, and then she decided to hand off the baton. So she's such a caring person, and sharing too. What we appreciated were that the preliminary research and was carried out by a diverse work group down the line, and we liked that. We just liked the looks of it. It was tied to Scripture. The assumptions were based on provided a basic foundation for where we're headed, and that there was a good level of detail, more than you could summarize in your opening statements, and that you were facing the issues openly without fear of recourse. And what questions do we have? What will the proposed policy look like? What about the... Oh, Nancy. She writes like my wife.
Careful.
No. Our concerns were that, these folks' concerns were that 10A is the tip of the iceberg. How many issues really are there? That everybody needs to know what's going on at the PCUSA, not just with 10A. And we addressed some of those issues. What is the scope of the decisions that the GA can make? Just polity, or can they make decisions on any social issues? Perhaps the limiting of the scope of GA. The fear was that we would work out something good for California and Los Ranchos and then have it summarily rejected by the PCUSA or the PJC. And could we do things in such a way that it can be upheld and not overturned by the PCUSA.